It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Houston Texans and the Baltimore Ravens. All that and more coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL on this fine afternoon brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland and M&T Bank Stadium. Coming up, we've got a good one here in the AFC, as it'll be the Houston Texans taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, the wait is over. The regular season is upon us. It is kickoff weekend around the NFL. Our two teams here getting in a final tune-up, but let's look ahead to the 2023 season. What are you going to be watching for?
How about some of the recognizable new faces in new places? Aaron Rodgers, Derek Carr, Odell Beckham Jr., the identity of teams under new coaches in places like Houston, Carolina, and Denver. And then, of course, the rookies. After the draft, we want to see how they perform.
Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. So here are the Texans now with a fresh face at quarterback, the second overall pick from Ohio State, C.J. Stroud.
In only 2 seasons, Stroud showed all he needed to at Ohio State. All-American, Heisman finalist, program records galore. He looked every bit like the #1 overall pick. He went #2, but Houston is thrilled to have him.
Meanwhile, Stroud's throw taken in by Collins. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. A good start offensively. 15 yards on the game's initial play. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Stroud working out of the gun. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
The lessons will continue. This rookie, he's got to learn how to read situations just a little bit better. That far behind the line, he's got to find a way to get rid of the football and not take the sack, whether it's with his legs or just throwing it away.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Stroud out of the gun here. Open man is Noah Brown. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at third down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
And he's brought down short by a yard. It's a third down gain of 4.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on third down, and they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a first down.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Taking it about the 16. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Ravens offense set to go to work, and it's Lamar Jackson now in his 6th NFL campaign who will lead the way.
All the talk of Jackson leaving the Ravens this offseason was just that, talk, as the two sides hammered out a deal that made the highest paid player in the NFL. And why would they want to separate? When he has the ball in his hands, great things typically happen.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on first and second down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Excellent play there on third down. Give them 25 yards.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on them. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
Sheldon Rankins, former Saint and Jet, there on the stop.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
And that's on the guard, Kevin Zeitler.
Still 3rd down.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Jackson now. And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down. Facing 4th down, Baltimore will punt. Jordan Stout out there. Back deep is Tank Dell. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. So now we get set to see Houston for their 2nd drive of the ball game. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. Patrick Queen got in there to stick him. He gets the sack. We had a pretty good idea that they were going to pressure this young quarterback, and that's now 2 sacks here in the 1st quarter.
And yeah, this is a secret to exactly nobody, because if you're a rookie quarterback, you know you're going to see pressure. Defenses want to see how you're going to handle it, or if it forces you into making bad decisions. That's their goal.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a 1st down. Stroud looking to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on 1st down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Option right, here's Stroud. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. Stroud here on 3rd and long. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get on track in this one.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And taken right on the 30. It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. They'll run with Edwards here to begin the drive. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense, rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And only a couple for him there as the tackle is made at the 42. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On 3rd down, Jackson rolling to his right. And that is incomplete.
How about the show put on by these 2 defenses in this 1st half? The fireworks don't have to be just offensively. Neither one of them giving an inch, and that's good coverage once again there to force another 4th down.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Fair catch taken right at the 10-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Three tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. A man coming off a great rookie year, it's Dameon Pierce. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, second and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
Play action. Stroud now. And that will be incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
Taken at about the 36. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. And, partner, I know so far, and we're still in the first half, but you love this game as a defensive guy. 0-0. We'll see if the offense can get going on this drive.
Well, you know how they talk about music to your ears? How about what it does for your eyes when you watch something like this, right, where these teams are locked in and going at it, no points going up on the scoreboard. I'm loving it. You're exactly right.
Well, switch over, though, to an offensive mindset for a moment. What do they need to do here to get on track? Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession. From just shy of midfield, here's a 2nd and 4. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Right back to Dobbins on first. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Here's a 2nd and 8. On the option right is Jackson. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That time they pick up a 24 yards on the keeper. First down. It looked like almost some miscommunication defensively because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball. But the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result.
Jackson going to hold on to it again. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson keeping it himself from 10 yards away. And the Ravens post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this second quarter. This defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number 1.
It should be number 1, and in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep him back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. And now out comes Houston. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. They'll start on the ground with Pierce. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Pierce with a motivated run there, and no surprise he's motivated this season after a late injury robbed him of a 1,000-yard campaign last year and potentially the Rookie of the Year. Even still, the 4th-round pick outplayed his slot with over 900 yards in 13 games.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. They run with the former Buffalo Bill, Devin Singletary. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Now they'll change things up. Stroud will throw it. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The end result, 21 yards.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
On first down, here's Stroud. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Devin Singletary, 31 yards. And the Texans are an extra point away from evening this one up. Well, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but his top 2 options were not available on that throw, so he went the safe route. Worked out pretty well.
It was like you were in the pocket. How about you going through the progressions like that? What a lot of offenses say, touchdown to check down. Look downfield first, bring it back to the line of scrimmage. Not easy for a rookie to do. Oftentimes they get one look and they make their decision off of that. He went through 3. That was impressive.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown. Their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Dancing to his left. And got his man complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
And what great recognition between a receiver and his quarterback, because he's going to recognize the trouble, and then he has 2 options. Cut off the route and come back to help, or head straight down the field, and he chooses the latter, and it turns into a huge play.
The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Jackson, option right. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Well, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
From midfield now, here's Jackson sliding out of the pocket. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. But no matter what the defense throws at them, they feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And Pierce gets it again on second down. And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Here's Stroud. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Texans first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play. Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch it. Doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
They find some open field here. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 58 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Well, you know what they say about the best laid plans, partner. I mean, this one was totally foiled. They played for the pass. The idea was if you want to run it, that's fine. We'll rally up and make the tackle, except they didn't get it done.
Yeah, it was 3rd and long and a big run there. How about that? Swings this one out wide for Pierce. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. The time called here because a member of the Texans is in some discomfort. This a 2nd and 8. Stroud. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. And he's taken down inside the 30. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. That'll be caught left side by Woods. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Stroud's throw complete here to his receiver, Brown. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Here goes Stroud again. Oh, it's complete. A diving grab there by Brown. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. And Stroud now to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown, Texans. Noah Brown in the final seconds of the first half. And the Texans have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. That is a near-perfect end-of-half drive right there.
And we've seen that many times from the best in the league. But do you really expect to see it done that well by a rookie? And how about the timing? Finishing it almost near the zeros, as you said, right at the end of the half. Great momentum to carry into the locker room.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything. Oh, looking for Andrews downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And they're not going to go quietly into this halftime break. They know they're in for a fight, so they're trying to make every possession count. They took the big shot there, but it winds up incomplete.
Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. Oh, looking for Andrews downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando. We're getting through the break at record pace and right back to football. 3rd quarter, here we go. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Duvernay now going to bring it out. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Raven offense set to start this third quarter. Well, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he...
There he goes, right side. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. It's a big play there for Baltimore. And even 60 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open.
And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10. Jackson options out left. They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Ravens come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. So the lanes continue to be there for Lamar Jackson to run that football. That his second touchdown run of the game.
You know what I would like? I'd like for us to be able to go into a defense's room after playing Lamar Jackson and watch the tape and see how much of a lane was really there and how much he created just through his talents. In any event, Lamar Jackson finds the end zone, doesn't he?
He always seems to, but that's a good point. We sometimes put blame on the defense. Maybe we just need to praise Lamar Jackson a little bit more. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. Their halftime lead now evaporated. We're back to level following that touchdown a moment ago.
And that shouldn't change the mindset a whole lot from an offensive perspective because they already knew this was going to be a hard-fought game. Now they just need to go out, execute their game plan, and keep moving.
The run on first down gets them a couple up to the 27. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Got it. Ready? Check. Next.
1st and 10, it's Pierce. And just shedding him off there. And he's got to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 80 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Once he broke through that first wave of defenders, there was a pretty big gap there for him to run.
And it helps that they were in a dime defense. That's 6 defensive backs. So this is why a lot of teams now are searching for those linebacker safety combo type guys who can add a little bit more size on the defensive side of the ball, but can still run as well, because when you run against 6 DBs with some bigger offensive linemen, you often get this result.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides, and there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
Stroud on 3rd down now. Throw out wide is incomplete. Fine work by the Baltimore defense to help bring up fourth down.
And this defense definitely in his head there on third down, and he's pretty fortunate. They didn't call for grounding on this one. That was a good 10 feet over everyone's head.
Fairbairn able to put this one through, and they take a 17-14 lead. So a response there to the touchdown of the opening drive of this third quarter as they're able to reclaim the lead.
And I think you'll take that because obviously you'd like to be able to match them touchdown for touchdown, but the first order of business was to get the lead back, and they've done that. Now you want to give a good pep talk to your defense to take it from there.
And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. And the Ravens taking the field. Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time. Now, Charles, remember they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were on the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit. What's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try and do it again.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
And those two just have been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. That was Will Anderson getting home and finishing the play.
What a play by Anderson, and that's really the expectation for him. Number 3 overall pick, one of the best pass rushers in Alabama history. He's the type of player Houston expects to be an all-timer for their defense.
Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I felt that one all the way up here. How about that big man laying out and making that catch?
Yeah, that wasn't a 180-pound wideout. That was a tight end. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Jackson going to keep it running right. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Well, he's had success running the football in this one, and that's undeniable. But that time, the defense was onto it.
And, partner, I think the more you see a play like this, the more they're able to diagnose it quicker and easier for them to defend it. I think you have to dress it up a little bit and show maybe some different formations and looks.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Now an option play on 2nd down. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. And that one will go for 13 yards on the keeper and a first down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards, the final tally.
I love the job they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively. But they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
We couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. Jackson options out left. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. So that was all you're looking for on a play like that. Get the first down and keep the drive moving.
Yeah, it just looked to me like he just said to himself, I've got this. I'll take it. I'll pick it up, and let's keep moving. Get the first down, get a new set, and let's start over.
And they'll try the option on 1st and goal. And he held on to it, but he probably shouldn't have as they get him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think his big boys up front, that offensive line, they've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to the
touchdown! Lamar Jackson hooking up with Mark Andrews. And the Ravens have retaken a 3rd-quarter lead.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
Tucker now to add the point after. It's up and good to make it 21-17. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it's Mark Andrews who finishes things off with a touchdown reception. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, moved a long field goal to at least get him 3. Now here they're trying to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Stroud now on 2nd down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Marcus Williams getting the sack from the secondary. Free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble, because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down. The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. It's taken to the 26. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
The ball was tipped and fell incomplete, but it was tipped up in the air, so the guys on defense, they had to feel like that was a big opportunity, and it was missed. They needed a play to help turn things around a little bit. Ball's in the air. Can they rally to it and get it? On that play, they weren't able to. They'll take the ball, bat it away. But, boy, they missed a big chance there.
16 yards on that one, and a Raven first.
And these guys certainly not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49, a gain of just 2.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
On second down, it's Edwards. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. And the broken tackle helps lead to a 1st down gain. 50 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Well, you know me, partner. I never tell them to back off of being aggressive. But sometimes you see the consequences when you're overly aggressive and you don't secure tackles. Guys break through.
Trying to sell out to pry that football loose, and just as you said, cost some yardage.
Yeah, you got to go get him. Stand him up first before you go for the ball. Don't just go for it initially.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
This pass complete. Jackson finding Andrews. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Right there, he rose to the occasion late in a close game.
It's something he thought about, dreamed about, and worked on throughout his career. Because in these types of situations, he wasn't going to go out extra coverage to keep him from getting the football.
Well, this is going to depend on his spot, but I believe he might be a few inches short.
I bet they thought they had picked that one up because it was a 3rd and 2 call. And they got awfully close. Now we're at 4th and inches. I wonder if they think they're feeling lucky here and maybe want to go pick it up.
So here comes Justin Tucker in a big spot. This will get the lead up to 7. Tucker's kick is good, and that'll make this a 7-point game. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Houston. Damian Pierce, 75 yards. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. This taken in at the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Ravens offense getting set and ready for this next drive. They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown, all tied up in the 4th quarter. And a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Nowadays, quarterbacks don't mind throwing into coverage because of the confidence they have in their receivers to come down with the ball. But sometimes you have to be careful you don't get too confident and throw an interception.
Jackson now on 2nd and 10. And this is going to be intercepted. And he'll wind up losing 5 yards or so on the return, but no matter, they've got the football back. Well, we say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the fourth quarter.
And, Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Midge used to say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
The tight end in motion right. And Pierce gets it again on second down. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. The noise is getting deafening. Here's third down and 3. Pierce will try to pick it up. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Another carry for Pierce. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football. Run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. They'll come up now. This is second and long. On second down, here's Pierce. Heck of a broken tackle and able to work this down. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game. Going for it with Pierce. And he won't get close. A yard, 4th and 3. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
Jackson and the Ravens, here they come. Down 27-24, 47 seconds remaining. Now they need, at minimum, 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. Jackson connecting with Andrews. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. Here's Jackson. This defense hasn't had the best showing in this game, but a critical knockdown there. If they can hang on, I guess the end will kind of justify the means.
Certainly, and just think of it this way. It may not be the quantity of the plays that they've had, because those haven't been great, but they get a few more quality ones like that, that could finish things off for them.
He finds the rookie, Zay Flowers. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Oh, man, that could wind up being the key play of the ball game right there. Defensively here, you know they've got no timeout. You've got to keep them away from the sidelines. Here, not only do they get the big yardage, but they get out of bounds as well.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
So now you're in range to tie things with a field goal, but they still have plenty of time to work for a game winner, and they're trying to do so. Nice job defensively to force incompletion there.
Another try from the night. 2nd and 10. Here's a give to Dobbins running right. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. That run's successful in large part because they had a lot of extra help blocking up front.
Yeah, you've got guys who can do that very, very well. In addition, they can catch the football. So sometimes when they line up with 3 tight ends, it's not necessarily to run it, and that gives you an advantage when you do decide to barrel off the line of scrimmage and block people downfield. It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
One last shot for Jackson. And he's got it. It's caught for a touchdown. And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds. Charles, that drive was perfect, methodical, executed so well, and they grabbed that lead with almost no time left for a last gasp from the other side.
No way you could have drawn up a better final drive, because not only did they keep their eyes on the end zone, they made sure they bled the clock out as well and denied their opponent a chance to respond. That's just terrific situational football to end this one.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll put it out to the 25. They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
Let's go now.
One final shot for C.J. Stroud. A throw out wide, going to be incomplete. Well, it took us until the final play, Charles, to officially decide a winner. Although on that last play they were so backed up, it would have taken a miracle, and they couldn't get that miracle done.
Well, I like how you stayed with it, because we both knew that this had to go down to the last play, and neither side was going to exhale until that play concluded, because we've seen the improbable before. A couple of laterals, maybe some poor defense on the back end. They might have gone all the way to the end zone. In this case, though, it didn't happen. Perhaps next time.
So that's a wrap for Charles